Good afternoon and welcome to Talking Bollocks part 52. It is Monday, May the 18th and it is 19 minutes past 4. I've just been out, sorry, itching my nose, hay fever. Just been out for a lovely social distancing walk at Addington Hills, although I still know Addington Hills, Shirley Hills. With my friend Katie and took the big dog. I think we walked for about an hour, and even though it's quite warm outside, it's quite nice to go over the hills because most of it's kind of wooded, and so therefore the big dog doesn't get too hot, which is nice. Repping my new TNSrecords polo shirt. Do you ever wear something, wear it loads, then don't wear it for some reason, and then forget how much you love something? I had forgotten how much I love wearing a polo shirt, how comfy I feel in polo shirts. So I've made resolution of buying more polo shirts. Obviously, I want polo shirts now that have all got kind of different things on. So yeah, gonna start seeing out of the bands that I know who can do me polo shirts with things on. Actually, I'd really love a polo shirt with dinosaurs or wankers on, which is a Wonk Unit t-shirt, which is cool. Addington Hills was lovely, actually. It was nice to catch up with Katie. We did spend the whole time mostly 2 meters apart. It's a little bit difficult on some of the paths, but one of us sort of walked in front. By one of us, I mean Denzel walked in part. The big dog walked in front because that's what dogs do, right? We even found a big enough bench to sit down and chill, which was nice. And it was a really nice day out there, and sort of being out in the woods, which I have I did on Saturday as well. I sort of think it kind of reconnects me with myself as well, because I'm just not sort of sat in here thinking about all the things that I should do that I honestly know that I'm not going to do because I'm so distracted. But yeah, that was good. Last night after you guys, I can't remember if I did a meditation before or after I spoke to you. It could be that it was after. I was really distracted yesterday and really bored. And of course, when you're distracted and bored, you can't settle to do anything. So I decided to meditate instead. And then while my dinner was cooking, me and Smallest had like a 20-minute practice, of which we find that we can fit that in better. Not that we're going out and doing much, but this distraction thing is like a real thing right now. So we did a 20-minute practice, of which we've sort of been doing that at least every day. And some days we've been doing much longer practices, which are good for samurai school, which is cool. And then I decided, a friend of mine does yoga, and what else does she do? I don't know if she teaches Qigong. I'm not sure that's how you say it, but I don't know if she teaches it. But I've done yoga with her before, and I decided to do like a yin yoga class last night for I think it was about just over an hour, and it's supposed to help you sleep. It's very sort of relaxing yoga. It's dynamic like yoga is, but not. It's chill yoga. That's what I'm going to call it. Yin yoga is chill yoga. And actually, I did sleep very well last night, which is cool. And I did play Insight Timer. And I feel a lot less distracted today, which I think is a good thing. Because with the distracted feeling comes that antsy, kind of tiggerish, bouncery thing where you just can't settle to anything at all. I also last night watched A Star Is Born, which I quite like that film. And I really like the tracks that Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper sing. What else? Yeah, not much really. Obviously, probably. I kind of sort of have got a little bit off the crochet at the moment, and I think it's natural because it comes in and out of waves of when I want to do it, and I've decided to not make myself sort of do anything apart from train a bit really, because I think I just piss myself off. And this whole sort of mindset changes so quickly in one day, you know, you kind of wake up and you have all these ideas, stuff that you're going to do, and then in my case, I get distracted by something shiny, not necessarily totally shiny, but I just like to use that as a saying, and then I end up kind of just focusing on that rather than kind of what I want to do. But we are also living at a very unprecedented time. None of us have learned how to, I mean, we don't often learn how to deal with whatever comes up in our lives anyway, straight away, and the first time we come up against it, right? So for instance, what would be a good example of that? So I can't think of any, but I'll think of something, I'm sure, in a minute. So because this is something that's never happened in our lifetimes, and hopefully doesn't happen in our lifetimes again, we don't even have the shared collective memory of a generation above us talking about it and how they dealt with it, because they didn't go through it either. And so therefore, I guess some of what we learn is generational, it's handed down to us. That can also work the other way as well. Some of what we don't want to be like is handed down generationally. But also, however you need to get sort of through this, I think is the way to go, without being too unhealthy, if possible. And that means a myriad of things for different people in different ways. Oh, sorry, that's really nice iced coffee with caramel. I just sort of decided to not beat myself up if I spend half a day in bed, if I spend a day being really active, if I spend a day being distracted. It is just what they are. I think yesterday I was like, fuck's sake, just fucking meditate, really aggressively. And by the time I had finished a sort of 20-minute body awareness meditation, I felt very much more back in myself. And it has brought up for me, and I think for other people too, how many things that we distract ourselves whilst this is going on. And there's no problem with that. If you need to distract yourself, fucking go for it. But how many of us distract ourselves for no real reason than to actually stop what we're thinking about? And sometimes that can be good, because the mind does need to process in the background, and distractions can be good. But for me, I've noticed that I've really enjoyed not planning things. And in the beginning, I hated it, because I do love to plan. I do love to arrange. And not that I'm not planning things, but I can't book anything right now, like everybody else. And so not having that weight of booking the next thing, has meant that I have actually just had to sort of sit with it and wonder about what it is. And I guess for me, I filled that with meditation. I filled it with, or I've put it to the side of the distraction and the needing to fill my life with things, doing things, with the fact that meditating means that I am very aware of me, and very aware. I mean, I've been doing quite a few different meditations, very aware of myself. And when you are aware of yourself that much, there are things that come to light, because, you know, we can all be dicks. I can definitely be a really great dick, especially if you deserve it. But anyway, we distract ourselves with these things, and we fill our lives with these things that mean that we don't pay attention to ourselves. And paying attention to ourselves is a really good thing to do, especially if it's a healthy thing to do. I don't want to say positive or negative, because I think all emotions have their places, whatever emotion that it is. So sadness is because we feel sad about something, and anger is because we feel angry about something. Obviously, we can then look at that emotion and think whether that emotion should be attached to what's going on, or whether there's something else going on. You know, am I sad about something? Am I gonna then make myself really much more sad about something? Or can I think about this for 10 minutes and then move on from it? When I was having the last bout of therapy, my therapist made me, she suggested strongly that I make an angry jar. And this angry jar was things that I was really, really fucking angry about, like mad, like really, really terribly mad. Because my thing is that I either withdraw or I do get angry. Although that's been under a lot more control over the last few years. but I don't like to be angry. It's just a natural thing. When you're surrounded as a child by everybody that seems to be angry all the time, you don't know how to self-regulate and to go, okay, well, I can be angry about it, but why be angry for the rest of the day when it's much more nice for me to just be angry for like 10 minutes. So I put this thing in the jar, write on it what I was angry about, put it in the jar, and think about it for 10 minutes straight. Like, be really, really furious for 10 minutes straight. And once I got to sort of 5 minutes, even I would start to feel tired about being angry. And it does really work, where you put things somewhere else, and then you go, okay, this is not going to go today. I need to give it my full attention, but I'm not going to give it the whole attention for the whole day, because I'm gonna be burning a lot of calories in anger. So I would do it, and actually, what I realised was that what followed from that was I wouldn't be angry for the whole 10 minutes, because it's really tiring being angry. And it's really tiring being bitter or cross or however of those sort of words. But it is also really important to do them, but it's important to do them healthily and give them a place. Yeah. And then after yin yoga, after talking about the anger, that it was really chill. Luckily, she muted all of the screens, because I realised I'd actually eaten my pizza a bit too close to actually doing the yoga class. So there's a lot of pizza burps coming up, which was great because I could just give it a go and do it. Me and her then had a catch up for an hour afterwards, which was lovely. I don't know about anyone else, but I felt out of line. Like I often feel tired, and I think it's just a mental thing at the moment, sort of, because it's almost like we're all waiting at a train station, but we're not allowed to wait with each other. So it's a really big train station, and we're not allowed to wait with each other, but we can talk to each other, but from far away. And we don't know what train's coming, and we don't know where the train's going to go. We don't know at what point the train's going to arrive. And I think that kind of adequately describes how it feels a little bit at the moment, in that it is like a train station. You're waiting to do stuff. And I think that's why I've enjoyed the meditation, because it teaches me to just be here, be now, be in the moment. And there was, when we did the third course last week, there were some interesting questions that you can ask yourself with ever what you're thinking. And it's, is it true? Is it helpful? Am I over-dramatising this, or am I under-dramatising this? I don't think they asked that one, but I added that one because sometimes I under-dramatise things. So something is really awful or terrible, and I just don't react. And I think that's a conditioning, and we all have that conditioning. We all have those shit that we're brought up with. For some of us, it's really fucking awful, and others, it's not too bad. But whatever conditioning we have, our first reaction to things often is our conditioning. And then the second reaction is how we actually have learned and taught ourselves and grown to react differently to things. I think that makes sense, right? I don't know. It's just me talking bollocks, right? Talking a load of shite. I'm sort of up and down with doing these. I don't know who wants to listen to me talking shite, but here we are, 52 parts later. And I have put them on YouTube because I thought, in a weird way, it's an interesting passage of time, what's going on that day. I don't know about you, but I don't often watch the news. I tend to get a synopsis of on Facebook of everybody posting things, and then I might go and watch something if I think, can I deal with watching one of the cockwombles talking about shite that's wishy-washy and just not very fucking anywhere, really. What else? I have... Oh, I told you about the Skunk and Nancy book, a skin book that I pre-ordered. I'm very excited about. Yeah, I think I'm gonna look for polo shirts, because I'm really feeling them right now. And especially obviously bands that I know and bands that I love, punk polo shirts would be very good. Especially this kind of thing with the stripy sleeves. Kind of cute, right? And then there are a few sort of orders that I want to make. Who am I listening to? I haven't really listened to much the last 24 hours. Mostly, I've been listening to My Favourite Murder podcast. I was about to say Getting Ideas, but I don't mean that. Yeah, still loving that. Watched a bit of telly. Next, watching The Affair on, I think it's on Sky Atlantic, but I watch it on Now TV. And I was looking through, because I've got an accidental free 7 days of Sky Cinema, and I was looking through what I can fit in the next 6 days that I was going to watch. So I've added some films, and some of them are old films, and some of them are films that I haven't seen. Quite a few indie ones on there, which is nice to see. There is one on there. Oh, what's it called? I'll have to look up the name and tell you another day. But I went to a Screen 25 showing of it a few weeks ago now. That was in South Norwood. Screen 25 is an independent cinema, and they often show sort of indie films, and it was filmed mostly in the South Coast, not far away, and the very good sort of zombie kind of apocalypse type film, but with serial killer, how to be a serial killer or something, and that's on there, so I might rewatch that again because I found that really funny. And quite different way of looking at things to do with alternative therapies and things, which is quite interesting. But anyway, I hope you have a lovely day. I'm going to go and cook something to eat because I forgot to have some lunch, and so I'm already hungry at 25 to 5. Food playing a big part in life at the moment. Anyway, have a lovely rest of the day. I hope you get outside if you manage to, because it is very, very nice out there, or at least it is in Croydon. I don't know where you are. You take care of yourselves and keep safe. Don't fucking stay alert. Alert to what? Life? I don't know. What a shit slogan. Stay alert. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Fucking hell. Right, guys.